This is Hot Mic.
Hot Mic.
On the networks of WDAY.
WDAY.
Here's Dom Izzo.
Hour 2, ready to rock and roll here on this Friday morning. Don't forget my dad coming up at the end of the show. We got an update on Tom Hoagie. He's playing some pretty good golf early on in his second round in Memphis at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. We'll get to that coming up later on in the show. We mentioned yesterday we're officially 2 weeks out from the Bison season opener in Boulder. 3 weeks from tomorrow is the home opener for North Dakota State when they'll welcome in Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George and Tennessee State for the home opener for North Dakota State. First time in a while the Bison have not opened at home. I want to say it was don't count Target Field. This 2019 was officially a home game. Last year was unofficially a home game at U.S. Bank Stadium. You got to go all the way back to the Montana game in 2015 when the Bison have not opened at home. But that'll be the case this year, and there are going to be some changes to Bison game day when you go to the Fargo Dome on a football Saturday. And the man who's behind some of those joins us on the show this morning, Cam Bastian. I got to make sure I get your title right, man, because Larson will call me if I don't have this. Make sure I get this correct. Let me see. I got it right here in front of me. Okay. Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. Is that right? Associate AD of Fan Engagement and Marketing?
That's right. Yep. Uh-huh.
Thanks for the time. I appreciate it. This is something on this show we have talked about for the better part of 2 years. You know, predates your arrival in Fargo. Tell me, getting the job, how high a priority was. Like, okay, this is what works, but what can we do to maybe amplify or change things on a Bison football Saturday?
Yeah, no, I would say it's it's always something that's on top of our mind, top of Matt Larson's mind. It's always the what's new, what's different, especially coming out of COVID. That's kind of the focus been on every single athletic department across the country. Is everyone sat on their couch for a season, and now it's okay. How do we make sure people are having such a great day at the games and when they come out to our facilities and everything? So it's always top of mind. I'd say that was kind of one thing I was tasked with when I first got here was, hey, we've got rabid Bison fans that love the Fargo Dome, love our games, love supporting the teams and everything. What do we do to make sure that they're having a great experience? And obviously, coming back to the games, but just continuing to support our programs and our athletic department.
Matt and I have talked about this because there's a disconnect because I see it. Our TV ratings are great. People are watching, but people aren't going. How do you fix that in 2024?
Oh man, if I had the perfect answer for that, I wouldn't be in this job. I'd be doing book tours across the country, making millions from that. But that's what we're working on. Obviously, is trying to figure out ways to do that. It's great to sit on a couch. Nice comfy couch in your house. You're right down right across the room from like a fridge full of drinks, snacks, and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, the big piece to us is that FOMO, that fear of missing out on the game day atmosphere. The screaming fans next to you. It's a little bit different when you're sitting at your couch cheering a game on versus when you're in any of our arenas or our facilities or anything like that. So really trying to enhance those opportunities and make sure that when people come to our games, it's an all immersive experience and just not just something that you're like, oh, I could have enjoyed this from a couch in my house.
So I'm looking on the website here. There's a different changes for football game day experiences. Give us the lowdown on those first of what fans can potentially participate in for the upcoming season.
Yeah, this was something that we were excited to roll out for this season, is giving fans an additional opportunity on game day to experience game day. So we've got a few new packages, if you want to call them out, that we're rolling out. The first one is, having the guaranteed opportunity of having NDSU cheer and Thundar swing by your tailgate out in the tailgate lot. All of our fans, doesn't matter rain or shine, snow, anything like that. Our fans are out there passionately tailgating. So giving fans the opportunity to take some photos with, some of the official Spirit members of our teams and everything. It definitely seemed like an easy way to capitalize on that energy and excitement outside of the facilities. Then once you kind of move into the facilities, we have the opportunity to participate in the team tunnel walk, being able to be in the tunnel while the team is walking out to Thunderstruck and being able to have that experience of, seeing everyone up close and personal, being able to capitalize on that energy and excitement of the moment. And then there's even the opportunity to move to the other side of the barricades where you're with the team. You'll be able to physically take the field with the team at that opportunity. Run out from the tunnel in front of all the screaming fans, and hearing the band play the fight song and everything, being able to participate in that. And then we've also got some other opportunities between some kids being able to retrieve the kickoff
Yep.
tee from the Bison. And then it's something that we always get asked about a lot by fans is, hey, can I get a shout out for my dad and his 50th birthday or something like that? There's now the opportunity to share a video board message, and so being able to wish a friend a happy birthday or a happy anniversary, or just celebrate that you've been a Bison fan for 30 years or something like that. So we have some opportunities there to kind of take your game day to the next level.
All right, I'm fascinated with the enter with the team bit. Give me the lowdown on how that idea developed, and what is the, I guess, limitation? Like, are you telling me, like, when the lights go down, team is introduced, I could, not myself, but somebody could be running out with them?
Yeah, I think you're a little busy at that
I
time,
am a
but
little bit.
yeah, but in theory, yeah, you'd be able to do that. So yeah, the team, they'll be in their locker room, doors are gonna burst
Yep.
open, and then right at that point, a fan has the opportunity to jump in line with the team, and as they run out of the tunnel, you're right there with
I
them,
like that.
feeling that excitement and energy.
I like that. That's pretty cool. So, what was the reaction, I guess, on that? When that idea got proposed, how did that go down?
Obviously, there's some apprehension of just,
Yep.
okay, how are we going to police this and control it on game day? We had to, we made it a very exclusive experience.
Yep.
There's only 2 opportunities per home game for that one, because we knew that, that's again, policing it and making sure that we've got a
Right.
small number. But it's also such a really cool experience. We wanted to make sure that people really, they had the experience that they wanted with that. They're not running out with, 20 other random fans. They're running out with the team. They're shoulder to shoulder with people in pads and helmets and all that kind of stuff, and the coaching staff. So we wanted to make sure that it was a safe environment for our fans, but also safe for the players and the coaches.
Cam, give us a couple other ideas, like pregame changes that's going to involve the team as well. I know because Coach Polisic told me about this, that he had wanted to change it up how the team arrives at the Dome.
Yeah, this was something that we played around with this idea internally even before I got to NDSU of how do we do a team walk prior to the game. Our fans love it in Frisco when the team arrives by the bus. They walk right through that tailgate lot and then head into the facilities there. So we were looking at how we can bring that here to Fargo. So we're excited to announce the Stampede March team walk that's going to take place prior to each home game. Right now, the timing is set for 2.5 hours prior to kickoff. So for a 2:30 kick, it's a nice round even noon that we can expect the team to be coming through that tailgate lot there on the west side of the Fargo Dome up Albrecht.
Okay. So right down the street there to the back end of the dome, or the north side of the dome. Is that, and we're heading that way?
Yeah, so they'll be heading north up
Okay.
Albrecht from where they eat their pregame meal.
Yep.
They're going to be led by the marching band. The Gold Star marching
Wow.
band's going to lead the way. So we'll have some fans are going to be able to hear the fight song well before the team is seen and everything, so they know that it's time to
That's
line
cool.
the street. It's time to do high fives and wish our players good luck as they head into the dome. And then team's going to be able to walk right through the tailgate lot, and then they'll head into the dome there on the
That's
west
cool.
side.
That's a neat interactive way for people to get involved. I like that. That's neat. On the inside, you mentioned of the tunnel walk. What changes there in terms of what's going to look different in 2024?
Yeah, so one thing that we're a little bit of a melancholy feeling on is the helmet, the giant inflatable helmet that the team runs through. It's going to be retired from team entrance. We're still going to plan on having it outside of the dome for fans to be able to interact with and take pictures with. It's a classic for us. It's a tradition. It's something that anytime our fans get the chance to interact with it, they love taking those photos. So we're absolutely going to keep it involved in our game days and help dress up the exterior of the dome for those game days, just to bring in that more energy. So fans will still have opportunities to take photos in the tailgate lot with our giant inflatable helmet, run through it, all of those few things. But on the inside, we're going to change up some things. We're introducing new pyrotechnic elements between cryogenic smoke and flame towers. There's going to be some new formations from the marching band and from the path that the team runs out of the tunnel with. So kind of an overall new look and feel to the actual event. But obviously, we're going to keep Thunderstruck. That song's just too much of a tradition to try and remove. So it's going to be a new look, but with an old feel, a traditional feel on
You know,
that.
we were visiting off air, and I was kidding about this, but Bison fans are ingrained in stuff. That may be hard for some to stomach. Give me the thought process on that, because change is needed. I think I've been clamoring for this for a couple of years, so I'm excited to see it. But that may get a not necessarily the best reaction. How do you handle that? Saying, okay, we're trying to change things up because what we've been done, we just can't keep doing.
Yeah, it's always a hard thing to try and make those decisions, and we're not making those decisions lightly. Like you said, there's a lot of fans that really enjoy and love that traditional sense. But during the season and during our postseason, and obviously new coach coming in and
Yep.
everything, we got presented with ideas and feedback. We did surveys with our ticket holders to try and figure out what things they really enjoyed about game day or what things they felt like could be improved upon. And this was an area that we felt like kind of that next step was needed. It was kind of that next opportunity for us to improve our game days and take it to a higher, more entertaining level, something that can bring additional energy and excitement into the facility.
This is your background. Tell me, for people that are getting to know you and meeting you for the first time on this show, that you went to school for this. This is something you've had other stops. That this is ever changing in college, not just college athletics, professional athletics as well, is fan engagement, to get people in the seats like we talked about, and when they're there, to make sure they're entertained. It's got to be changing every day for you in your line of work.
Oh, absolutely. It's never the same. And I think the best part about being in the job right now is that our fans are passionate, our fans are rabid. But then there's a million technology companies and all these other things that are coming up with these new things to do. And we're always trying to be on the cutting edge of our game day experience and trying to make sure that we're staying relevant, staying fresh with all these things. But again, with a traditional fan base, it's really fun to kind of mix some of these old elements
Yeah.
or these tradition elements that have been happening for so many years. But also, how can we make this better? How can we really bring it into 2024? And whether you're going to a Bison football game or any of our other athletic events, it's okay. Like, I know I'm home, but home just got some new upgrades. We just got a new cable package or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Like, they feel like there's excitement and energy.
Cam, for a Bison fan, would say, well, I like the way it was, and I don't want to see it change. Why are you doing this? What would you say to that?
I know we welcome those feedbacks. We really want people to share those opinions with us because at the end of the day, we are trying to do this for the fans. Our job primarily in the athletic department is to service our student athletes as best way as possible. And so for me specifically, that's okay. How do I bridge that relationship between student athlete experience and making sure that we've got full arenas and facilities for our student athletes and bringing that energy. And so we welcome the feedback from these fans. We really do. We're not trying to change the whole thing because obviously we have a great tradition of excellence here, and so we're trying not to change everything, but we're also trying to make sure that we're staying in the forefront of college athletics and especially interconference, but just across the country is trying to stay in the forefront of our game day experience and making sure that people know when they hear about Bison football game days that it's a top of line production.
I'm not going to be shilling here, but I will mention the new single game ticket packages are available now. Give us the lowdown on that and how it works.
Yeah, so we've got your traditional single game tickets for all six of our home regular season games, although that are live online now. But then we've also introduced the mini plan package, which is something that we had some kind of internal discussions about of how do we do it, is it the right time to do it, and everything. And we were excited to offer this because sometimes we know that our fans are busy in the fall. A lot of our fans have family members or kids that are playing sports on Saturdays or they're traveling or other things come up. Life is just busy in general. And so maybe the opportunity to commit to all six home games isn't always available. So we're trying to offer kind of that medium package of I want to come to more than one
Yeah.
game, but I'm not ready to commit to all six. And so this mini plan, especially the opportunity to have it be a you pick feature where they can choose, hey, I want to attend these three games and I want to pay this much money or I want to sit in these seats. Having that opportunity to be really flexible with it was something that we were excited about, and we feel like Bison Nation is really being receptive to in our sales so far.
I was going to say, how have it gone so far? I know it's only been a couple days, but how have sales been reflective of that so far?
No, we're getting a lot of really good feedback. People are excited about the new ticket offerings and packages and everything. We're still learning and we're still
Yeah.
trying to test out all the features, especially with the new packaging. But trying to make sure that obviously our ticket system runs as efficiently as possible, and that we're making sure that Bison Nation, it's easy for them to attend our games.
I really appreciate this, man. I know it's a lot of info. I think people will appreciate that. We'll do this again because I think it's important to let people know what's going on. Thanks so much for the time. Nice job with this, and thanks for the time this morning, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dom.
Cam Bastian joining us, NDSU's Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement, on the changes that are coming for Bison football home games. And, everyone's going to be drawn to the inflatable helmet not being out there anymore. And I have said it, I don't know how many times in this show, and Cam doesn't need me to hear me complain about Wi-Fi. It's not his deal. It's the Fargo Dome's deal. The Fargo Dome knows it. North Dakota State knows it. It should be priority one. So when you go to the ballot box in November, and I'm not allowed to vote, I live in Minnesota, but if I did live in North Dakota, and I live in Fargo, bam, I'm telling you right now, make sure that we're signing off to upgrade the dome, because that needs to happen. You want to have better fan engagement, and I've had people say this time and time again, and I know there's an older generation that'll roll their eyes at me, but people want to be able to, now, especially if they want to post something on the video board, they got to be able to access the internet to do that in the dome, and that's hard to do. Going back to the inflatable helmet deal, and I get it for some. They're like, well, this is what they've done for 20-some-odd years. It's great. I love the entrance. Well, first, what year was it? Wasn't that long ago they couldn't inflate it. Remember that? They had an issue there. I think it's time. It's time that we evolve, we move to something new there, and let's give it a shot. I really like the idea, and Polisek told me this early on. I want to say back in February, we had a conversation on how he was going to change up game day, and he wanted this team walk. He wanted that. That had happened. I know it happens at Iowa. I think they do it at Wyoming. It was something he really liked, and a way to embrace with the fans. You want to liven up tailgate? I go out there before every game. People see me out there. I do that on purpose. I go out there to see what the environment's like, to see, how many people are there, because tailgate has certainly gone this way. And for people listening on the podcast, it's gone down over the last 5 years. There are spots that I walk past that I know are open now that 6 years ago, there was no way those spots would ever be open. So if you want to get some energy back out there, that's a heck of a way to go and do that. You can't just keep, and we've said this time and time again, I know we're overdue for a break, just hoping that fans are going to come back because it's the Bison. Winning certainly does that. You win against Colorado, there's going to be a level of energy around here that hasn't been here in the last few years. No doubt about it. Does that fill up the 2,000 to 3,000 empty seats? Think about the last home game. And I know it was over Thanksgiving weekend, but think about that. It was a playoff game. There were 8,000 people here when they played Drake. Go back the game before that, the regular season home finale against Southern Illinois. A lot of empty seats. That's what they're looking at. So what are you clinging to if that's what you had for the last couple games, right? What's the harm in changing it up to see if you can get some more seats, butts in the seats? The other things would help, I'm telling you, but this is a start, and I'm interested to see what it'll look like when we get to regular season game number 2, home game number 1, that first weekend in September. We're overdue for a break. We'll get caught up on a couple of emails, and we roll on a busy Friday. Hot Mike back after this on WDAY Extra, KSFL TV, and Inforum.com.